Parais Pagachi Nerones, it's a Nerones. Time to Shapaji Nerones, Sulation Water, one Caramel, the Pukuskaro, very likely means that the Japan Humelo.
Hello all, welcome back to the session. So hope my voice is audible and let me share my screen as well. So let's wait exactly for a minute and then we'll start it off. Okay. Okay, I hope you can see my screen now. Can someone confirm it in the chat?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so let's get started the session for today. So yesterday, like we saw about like couple of things which is related to the APM. So from our slides, I would say. So we started with uh, the advantages of APM, and we saw like how the APM interacts with your mobile devices, and we saw an outline of how it works actually, and also some practical ways like I showed you like how an APM setting is available and how an APM WebDriver, sorry, the WebDriver agent is available. So before that, just give me a minute. Let me try recording this session. Yeah, it's already recorded. Yeah. Okay, so with that in hand, so let's start the session for today. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so we saw how the working happens, and today our agenda will be like to discuss couple of items more. Okay, and some installation part of it, like what are the prerequisites and how do we do it and other things. and some ADB commands for our hands-on. So let's try to do it up. Okay, as like a quick starter, like how what is ADB command and how does it work and all those stuffs. Let's try to start it, and slowly we'll move on to the in-depth part of it. Okay, so yesterday we left in the place where we saw the advantages of APM and we saw a quick start guide. So this guide is an old one. So let me quickly update it. I would say just a second. Control Z. Let me delete it. And yep. So this is the quick start guide. Okay, the web page where you can see over here the version which is available. Okay, so we'll be dealing with the 3.2 version. Okay, so let me put this and I'll share the PDF to you by today. Okay, in the WhatsApp group, so you can have a quick look at the PDF as well. And also, if you want the GitHub link, right, of the official APM site, so that again exists over here itself in the same page, but just click on it and you'll be navigated to it. Okay, so this is the one. So let me copy it. So this is the official APM. So whatever it is available, so it will be available here. So let me copy this and put it down here. Yep. Okay, so I'll share this as a PDF at the end of the session today. Okay, so the aim is to complete this PDF and then move on with some practical scenarios and examples. Okay, setup and then stuff. Okay. So we saw like how APM is useful and why it is used by most of the people. So today we'll also check who are the competitors of your APM. So far we've seen like why APM is available, but if APM is available, then who are the competitors? So let's have some quick analysis on that. Okay. Okay, so the competitors of APM. So let me write it down here. Okay, so this is where we started it. So we'll see like competitors for APM. Okay. Okay, so the competitors of APM would be like we have something called a Calabash, and we also have something called a Detox, which is the latest one, I would say. The Detox, couple of people in most probably in Chennai, I heard like people are using it actually. And then we have like Cylindroid, and then we have the Maestro. Okay, so these are something which I say it as a cross-platform open source tool. Okay, and your automation platform involves, so most probably like you had heard about Catalan Studio. Okay, it's just a wrapper on top of it. Okay, and we have something called a Perfecto, and we have something called Test Sigma. We call it as a squash. So basically it's a AI testing tool. Okay. So these are the things that we have it up. So let's see. So Calabash, like what is it and why people use it? So this is like say BDD style framework. Okay, so and it's mostly supports both Android and iOS, but it has been deprecated, so it's no longer being used. So there is no support available. So that's the reason it has been down. And Detox, so it's like a supported for React Native apps and uses. Uh, and since it's like a React Native, right? So mostly it uses your JavaScript as a programming language. and it runs on real devices and simulators and emulators as well. And Selendroid, so it was, I would say it was used as a tool by Selenium WebDriver. Okay, but still Selenium is existing, but it is not as efficient as Appium. So it's been like dated out, I would say again. So similar to Calabash, the Selenium has also been dated out. And also we have something called a Maestro. So this is a YAML. So if you have heard about YAML, right? So it's not a programming language. It's basically a file. Okay, so YAML is something like a syntax, or uh, it's like how I will say it. It's like not a programming language, but it's based something like a syntax. So it works like a syntax. So this YAML based cross platform. Okay, cross platform tool, and it's used for a less coding tool. Okay, but this is not as much as used, I would say. So it's not also not very good. So and when we come to the automation platform, so we have like a Catalan Studio. So it's again a GUI version of the APM, and it's like a wrapper on top of the APM. Okay, so still people use it, but I wouldn't say it's a bad idea, but still it's like supported by a couple of organizations. So and Perfecto, so basically it's a cloud-based testing platform, I would say, not a tool. Okay, and it has its own devices and labs with some AI features. Okay, but again it is a cost. Okay, when you say cloud, it's like high cost. So cost wise, like you need to pay it and use it. And similarly, test the Sigma or the Squash. Okay, so this is also one of the low code or no code tool, I would say, or no code tool. So it is like a layer on top of, again a layer on top of APM. Okay, to avoid the complexity of it. Okay, and some other notable tools will be like, say, there is something called a robot framework and Night Watch, Air Test, Ranorex. So these are some of the other tools, notably we can mention it. And the approach is like, say, which tool should I choose, or why did I choose APM? It's like, say, it. Let me put that also. Why should we choose APM? So you can tick it one at a time. Like, say, it supports the native framework. Okay, and secondly, like it should be like cross-platform dependent. Okay, and the third one would be like, say, the cloud support. So all these three things can work with your APM. Okay, and the above tools might miss one or two, but your APM is compatible across everything. So as I told you, like your APM will work with native frameworks, which is Android and iOS. It doesn't matter. Cross-platform, hybrid, web, native, all application it works. And cloud support. So your APM also will support the clouds, any platform it might be. And if you want to see which are the cloud providers that APM supports, just you can visit your APM Inspector Pro, this website that I'll ping you now. Okay, so let me ping it to you. In Phoenix Mobile, after having this course, I'll be able to do the aging testing for my organization phones. Maybe Altaf, can you elaborate actually? So question seems to be interesting. You're working in Transition Holdings with Techno. Okay, Infinix Mobile Manufacturing. Okay. After I'll be able to test the aging tests for my organization phones. What is, like, say you want to test an app or the device itself? Maybe you can unmute yourself, Altaf, if you want. Yeah, definitely. Yes, definitely you can do it. Yeah, it's possible. Yes. Yes, any device. So it's running on Android, I believe, if I'm not wrong, if I heard about it, like Techno, Infinix, all these devices, it's running on Android. So definitely you should be able to test any apps on it. And even in certain extent, you can test the device performance as well. Yes, Android 16. Yes. Yeah, you can very well do it. Yes. 100% possible. S- Okay. So it shouldn't be a problem. Okay. So you're into manufacturing or the testing, quality control? Testing. Okay, 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 fine, fine. Yeah. Because why I asked the question is like there are two things actually. So testing the application is fine, but testing sometimes like people test the device itself actually, like a quality control and stuff. That's the reason. Yeah. Manual testing. Yeah. Okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. It's 100% possible. Yes. Okay, so I'll add this GitHub repository to Shibin as well. Yeah, it's fine. So I'm just adding you like one repo link only. Okay, so maybe once the course is like full-fledged started, like you'll have like couple of repos as well to refer. Okay, you can contribute as well. So that's also one side note. Okay. Okay, so now you can see if you are with your laptop or your desktop. Okay, so you can try opening this link that I just pinged you. Okay, so this will give you like say what are the cloud platforms it supports. Okay, like say when you open it fresh, let me open it as a incognito as a fresh. If you see, so there is a select cloud providers available. If you click it, these are the total cloud providers available or supported by your Appium. So almost everything in the industry it's available. Okay, so it's like a very good tool, I would say. Okay, so this is how you can verify it up. So your APM inspector, you can see these are the things that are available. But even some cloud source are freely available for 30, 40 days, 30 days mostly. So those also you can test it out. Okay, so like Sauce Lab or Browser Stack, they have like 30 days time period, so you can have it tested it. Okay, okay, just give me a minute. Just a second, guys. Yeah. Okay, so these are the cloud providers. So next thing is like say, let me close this incognito. Yeah, let's get back to the slides of the presentation one. Okay, so these are the stuffs why we choose the APM. So it supports or it has checkpoints for all this. So that's the reason we do it up. Okay. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, and then we saw like how does your APM work as a small diagram yesterday, but this is the theoretical one. So technically you need to have your Node.js installed. Okay, and Node.js is something like I can tell it like Node.js and npm. I will take that is the major selling point of your Appium 2.x and 3.x. So because like previously it was developed as a separate independent plugin, not related to npm. Okay, but when 2.x and 3.x came full-fledged, so your entire development was based on your Node.js and npm. So Node.js and npm, if you see it, like the first thing, like your Node.js is okay, let me show it. Okay, so it's like a server and it has a npm in it. Okay, it has a npm in it, which we call it as a node package manager. Node package manager. So you can ask me like what is the difference between Node.js and npm. So let me show you a Excel sheet, so which I prepared some time back to show these differences. Okay. Okay. I think it's not there. So let me add it over here. So as a new column, node and npm. So let's have the two columns like node.js and then let's have it as a npm. Okay. Okay. So node.js is nothing but okay. So let's have first as a type and then let's have the purpose, why it is used, and then can it work alone independently between Node.js and npm, and then how it is used in Appium. That's the main thing. Okay, so let's have it. So type this Node.js is like say it's a runtime, okay, and runtime server I would say, for example, runtime server, and this is something like say a package manager. So server, as you know, like it is used to start and stop anything which is available. Okay, but your npm or your package manager is something like say it will be useful for your to store any features, files or libraries, anything inside it. Okay, so npm manages all these libraries and your npm only will be able to install your apm. So node.js is a server on which your npm runs. Okay, and the purpose, so basically it runs JavaScript, okay, and this installs and manages the packages. Okay, so that is the difference I would say. And can it work alone? So definitely not. It needs libraries to run, and this needs server to run. That's it. And how does it impact the APM? So APM runs on Node. Okay, and as I told you, APM is installed via npm. Okay, so this pretty much that's it. So if someone asks you why we need Node and npm, so this is the reason. So your APM runs on a node, okay, and it needs to be built on or it needs to be installed by your npm. So that is the reason for it. And what are the commands between your okay, I will come to that later. Yeah, it's too early now, so we'll come to that at later. So the next would be like say that's the reason we need the Node.js, and you have the APM server, so you have a mobile JSON wire protocol. Okay, so as I told you how it interacts, So this mobile JSON wire protocol is nothing but your this JSON. Okay, how it interacts. And iOS needs a WebDriver agent and Android needs an APM setting. And it initially happens to your APM session created. And I told you like yesterday as well, there is something called a desired capabilities. So most of you, if you have worked in the web application, you might have with Selenium, you might have known about something called a desired capabilities. So these desired capabilities are nothing but this is the way in which you can access your properties of a browser. The same thing if you want to access it inside a mobile automation or mobile device, we need the desired capability, but it was in 1.x version, but the latest one being your XUI test option and UI Automator 2 option. Okay, so that is the one. So the next one would be like say the Android version. So the Android version as usual the same, the JSON wire protocol and APM server to the device emulator. So it sends from server to your device and the device can be an emulator or a real device. And the commands are used by your bootstrap jar in the Android and converts it into an understandable format by your UI Automator. So what is UI Automator technically? So the UI Automator is nothing but that's the only middleware which sends the commands to your devices. So your UI Automator is nothing but your ADB. Okay, the ADB. So without that ADB, this cannot be done. Okay. And UI Automator sends command to the device and device sends back to your APM server. So the APM server has this client. Yes. This is how basically it works. Okay, so then the installation part of it. So let's see some primary installation which you need it up. So it needs to have something called a node or npm. So to install the node or npm, so it's a pretty simple, just a run task, I would say. So if you are in a Mac or Windows, it doesn't matter. Just visit this website, like go to your Google and type in Node.js installation, search it, then you have the download Node.js. So if you open this website as part of your Mac or Windows, you can see it automatically displays you what type of machine you are into. So I'm using my MacBook app. So you can see the Mac machine is available and it's running on an ARM 64 architecture. So I can directly click this Mac OS installer. Okay, so this is one way, pretty simple. Okay, the second way would be like say, I would say we need to follow these instructions. Okay, so in a Mac, this is pretty easy. Okay, but in a Windows, it's going to be pretty different way. I'll tell you that one. Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me reduce the background noise. Just a second. Okay, hopefully now it is reduced. Okay, still you can hear me, right? If I'm not wrong. Okay, so let's see quickly the questions if there is any. Okay, it's nothing. Good. Just a moment. Okay. So here you can see you can directly download this Mac installer. For me, I've logged into a Mac machine. So that's the reason I get this. But in case if you logged into a Windows, this will be changed. Okay, can someone confirm if you're using a Windows machine by just clicking on this link which I provided in the Teams so that you can see a different item over here, not same like that as you see it in my screen share. So can someone confirm, whoever is working on your uh, Windows? Maybe anyone? Anyone from the team? Anyone is working right now on the Windows? Okay, so if not, no issues. So do let me know in case if you face some issues, I can share some tips. Yes. So over here you can see this is a second way of
Yeah, I
installation.
just checked and it is showing as Windows.
A Windows. Okay, that's great. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. Okay. So you can see also over here some commands are available, I would say. So this is the command way of installation. So if you're a Mac user, it should be pretty easy. Like you need to open your terminal. Okay, and just copy these commands. That's it. Pretty simple. Just go over here, right click, paste it, and then enter. So I'm not doing it since I've already installed it. So I didn't do it. So then similarly, this is nothing but setting your home for your npm. Okay, and this is installing the latest version and this is checking the version. That's it. So maybe if you want to check the node version after installation, so hope you can see. I can type node space double hyphen version. So I'm in 22, but here it says it's 24. So nevertheless, let's try to install it and quickly see. I'm just lagging behind two versions. It doesn't matter, but just so you enter it. So you can see it's getting downloaded. Should be a pretty easy one. So nothing much it should do. Okay. And then you can install your NVM or npm. Okay, so it's not found. Okay, so I'm still using the npm. So there is something called a nvm, so which is nothing but yarn version, I would say. Okay, so that's a different one. But if I want to do it from the command, I need to uninstall my npm as it is suggesting, as you can see, and then use it as a nvm. So NVM is abbreviated as Node Version Manager. Okay, so NPM is Node Package Manager, whereas NVM is Node Version Manager. So this maintains the versioning of your Node.js, and technically, I would say like NVM manages the versions, okay, the node versions, whereas the NPM manages your packages. So if you have node installed and NPM, like how I did it over here, like say simply downloading the Mac installer, it should be fine. But since I have like NPM, right? So I need to uninstall it and then rerun this command to install the NVM. So whichever way you do it, it is fine for me actually. Whether you have the NVM or NPM, it is fine. Yes. Okay. So let's leave this for here for now. I leave it at the discretionary of you. So I'm also lagging behind some version. So I'll use this 24. So just you need to click it for a Mac people. So just I think Windows also is the same. So these are the place in which it exists. So click continue, continue, click agree. I'm not changing anything, just the default one I'm giving it. So I need to provide my Mac username so that it installs it. So that's pretty simple and straightforward installation if you're using the package manager. So if it's a Windows, it's going to be an exe file, the same way you need to do it. That's it. So you have installed it. Now, okay, we can move it to trash. Now here, if you want to check it, so let me clear it and then give npm space double hyphen version. Sorry, node first I need to give node space double hyphen version. You can see 24 and then npm space double hyphen version. It will have a different version. So don't worry. So Node and NPM doesn't have the same version. So that is how it is existing because both are different modules, as I told you from the difference. Node is like a server and NPM is like a package manager. Okay, so any doubts still here so far? Anyone, any doubts?
No, it's clear.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So you can try to install it and check it, I would say, okay, when you get some time. Okay, so this is one of the major prerequisites for your APM. So you need to have this mandatorily, and also not only for APM. So in case if you are also interested in Java, some frameworks related to native, sorry, React Native or something. So your Node.js plays a major role. Okay, so it almost has all the packages. So if you people have worked in some web automation, so Playwright, Cypress, all these things are coupled inside this Node.js. So it's a very important package, and it's good to know this one in the current scenario of the IT industries. Okay. So learn as much as Node possible. So there is a probable nice scope for that also. Okay. So yeah. So this is pretty much that's it, the installation part of your node. So later on we will have to install your APM so that I'll come back to it. And before all this needs to happen, so we have one more major prerequisite, I would tell, which we call it as a Java. Okay. So how many of you have installed Java in your mission? Maybe you can just raise your hand. Okay. Think Altaf is preferred for everything. Okay. So anyone else? Okay, so that's pretty much simple. If you want to just validate in your mission whether you have your Java or not. So your Mac users use the terminal. So your Windows users use your command prompt. Just type in Java space double hyphen version and you get the version. So if you get something like this, whether you're a Windows or a Mac user, so that means you have the Java available in your mission. But if you didn't get anything, so that means you don't get or you don't have your Java version. So why Java version is important? So your Node.js, your Java version, so everything is together actually available. It's like interdependent, even though it's not directly dependent. Sometimes it's interdependent for some modules. Okay, so luckily APM doesn't care about it. But if you want to install the Java, so I would request you again go to your Google and search for like say Java installation. Okay, and you will get official Oracle website over here. Okay, so where you get to see like say there is a 25 version available. Hopefully like everyone is in 8 or 11 or 17, so they are going past 25, 24. So even I'm lagging behind like one version. So if you ask me, this version like every time should be updated. Definitely not. Okay, definitely not. So if you still have the 17 version, should be fine, I would say. Okay. But yeah, but as far as APM, it supports from 18. So we can baseline all our Java version to a certain point, which is like 18 or something. Okay, so 11 is too low, I would tell. So let's have some 18 version or like 21 version. So please try to install it. Okay, so you can go to the 21 over here, or even if the latest one 25, you can install it. You can see a couple of packages or files available over here. So depending upon your mission, so you can download it. So this for Linux, for Mac, for Windows. Okay, so you can download it. So your Mac OS, you can see it over here, like you can have ARM64. So technically just download this DMG. So usually I go with the DMG file. So mine is ARM64. So you can just click it and you can install it. It's pretty simple. For a Windows user, just go to this Windows. So most probably, I think you'll all have this installer as an exe file. Just download this exe file and run it up. Yes, that is how basically it works. Okay, so and once you do it, you go to your terminal or your command prompt and then retype the command in a new terminal. I would say that is the best one, so that your terminal will be refreshed. So you can see like this version, whatever I highlighted, might be available, or the respective version, whatever you have installed it. Okay. So, yep. Okay. So this is about the two major basic installation that we need to do. So without this, it doesn't work, I would say. And the next one would be so the Java and the Node.js. And okay, one. Let me get back to the slide. Okay, so this is something for your Mac users actually. So in case if you're a Mac user, so uh, you need to run this command actually to install the homebrew, I would say. Okay, because if you have your homebrew account with you, then it will automatically set all the paths inside your profile. Like say my mission, it was done by me, so I am the owner of it, so I'll be the profile owner of it, so everything will be done. But in case if even though the Mac machine is yours, so you might not be the admin to your Mac machine. Okay, so that's the reason you need to have your homebrew. Like how to check this homebrew, like let me do a clear again. And if you type homebrew space hyphen hyphen version, so or sorry, or you can type the brew space hyphen hyphen version, so you will get the brew version. Okay, but if you didn't have, or it is if you are facing this kind of issue, command not found, then you need to install this option. So just you need to give this command over here. Okay, and hit it enter. And then you need to add these two dependencies, like say npm install -g ios deploy brew install cartridge. These three are mandatory for your Mac users in order to set the environment variables for the Mac automatically. Okay, so let me ping it. This specifically for Mac users, I would say. So just Mac users. Yep, can do it. Yeah, so there was a question. Let's see. Windows PowerShell command install the latest PowerShell for new features. Java version. Yep, I think it is. Yeah, you have the 25 version. Yes, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, Java is not recognized. Yes, then you need to install the Java shebang. Yes. So the Java installation, it's over here. This is the line. So I can give it to you. Yeah, yes. So you need to take this one. Okay, so this is for shipping. Yes. And also like another thing that you want to use it or install it, or it might be useful for our future session, is nothing but your GitHub for Windows. Okay, and Mac as well. GitHub. Sorry, not GitHub. Sorry, Git for Windows and Mac. So what we can do is like say you can go again to your Google. So you can do Git for Windows since most of us are Windows user. So this link you need to take it, just run it. So here itself you have for Windows and Mac users. So from Brew also you can try it up, but there is an installer as well. So it should be the commands are pretty straightforward. Just run this command. Okay, and run this command. Okay, no need these two commands. Just run this command and this command. Yes, it should be fine. Yeah. So for Windows user, just download these exe files and you can use it. Yes. So this is something in the future we'll be doing it up. Okay. npm no need to install. It comes along with the Node.js. Okay, so it's not a separate installer. So once you install Node.js, the npm will be automatically inside it. So just you need to type node space hyphen hyphen version and npm space hyphen hyphen version. That's it. Okay, is it clear? So as you saw it, the node is not a separate one. So I just installed the Node.js, so you can see node space double hyphen version. And I have the inside the node itself npm is there. So npm space double hyphen version. So it should work for both the cases. Yeah, hopefully it will help. Okay, so any doubts, anything so far till now? Okay, quite cool. Okay, so if something is there, please interrupt me. Yeah, the next is Git for Mac actually, Mac or Windows. So I passed on the screen, so you can also just try downloading it up. So why we use a Git is like say that's the repository. So any code that you type, it needs to go into some repository so that anyone from our team can use it in an organization. So there are different repositories available. So GitHub is something that I use, which I feel like a pretty user friendly. So there is a GitLab, there is SVN, Bitbucket, so quite a lot of items available. Okay. So predominantly like what I've seen people using is like GitHub, GitLab, and also like Azure, they use it up, and SVN, they use it. These stuff, they will be using it. So we'll go with the GitHub, so which is an easier one and a free and open source actually. So we'll use that one. So you can install it, and that's the reason like I asked you like to create some GitHub accounts for you itself. So it's a two-way. So it will be useful for our training sessions. And in case if you have some projects or you created some frameworks, you can check in inside your GitHub and you can put it in your resume, which will be well received. So a couple of companies are nowadays asking whether here you have a GitHub projects or something like that. So it will be of very good usage, I would tell. Okay. So that's how the GitHub will be useful, or the Git will be useful. And this Git, the main reason to install is like once you install this, your IntelliJ will automatically detect it. There is a plugin available, so which your IntelliJ can auto integrate and use it for check-ins and checkouts, which we'll also be seeing in the later points of the session. Okay. And these are the three main installer prerequisites that are required. And the next one, just give me a second. Let me grab some water. Yep. So the next one is like, let's see some configuration part of it. Okay. So I hope like everyone uses an Android device. Okay. So let's see some configuration, how you can do it for your Android device to work. Okay. So because Android is a quite easy one, so that's why we are starting with that. So first, okay, so let me open my Android Studio to show or project it to you. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. So I use an Android Studio to just project it to you. Okay, my device and how it is running and stuff. So nothing much apart from that, I use it. But there is a different usage which I'll tell you. So you can see over here for any Android devices. So I'm using a Pixel. So you can see over here like there is a settings and there is something called an about phone. And if you scroll down, there is something called a build number. So in any device, you will have this build number. So you need to tap it 7 times to enable the developers mode. Okay, so once you tap it 7 times, you need to go to the system. And if you scroll to the bottom, you have the developer option. So this developer option is quite important, I would tell. So with this developer option, like this button, whatever is at the top, toggle button should be enabled. And once you scroll down, you can see USB debugging. This should be enabled. Okay. So if both the things are enabled, then you would be able to connect your device to your Mac or Windows machine and you can do any operations on that. And if you scroll down a bit down as well, there will be quite a lot of features available. Okay, so using that is up to your discretionary, I would say, and most probably don't enable this option, mobile data always active, because even when you connect to your Wi-Fi, this mobile data will be enabled. Okay, so all your data will be gone. Okay, just make sure you are having only the right permissions to it. Okay, and there's a quite a lot of options over here, so it's like mm, you can still have it, but it's not, it's up to you, I would say. Sometimes some devices become slow after enabling certain options, so it's better to see those discretionaries before we use it up. Okay, so these two, once you enable it, you will be able to see the device itself as ready for testing. So this type of operation for emulators is not required, it's only for your real devices. Okay, so yep, so any doubt in this so far, enabling this option? Okay, anyone from anyone, anything? Okay, SDK download should be installed. After that, I can connect device. Uh, yeah, you can do it that way. Yes, yeah, but that's a pretty long process, I would tell. So SDK download, but we can have a quick check on that. So if you want to connect your device, it right. So you can download your Android Studio. Pretty simple. That's where the Android Studio really comes into picture. So you have this link, okay, and if you scroll down a bit, no need, yeah. So you can directly access this link. So if you copy it and okay, let me put it on the Teams. Okay, Android Studio. And if you click this Otter 3 feature download, similar to Node.js, you can also see depending upon your mission, it will have the versions over here. Okay, so it automatically detects my Mac machine. So, but it doesn't know whether it's a Mac Apple chip or an Intel chip. But I know it's a Intel Mac chip because once you click on this Mac button, the Apple symbol that is about this. Okay, and you can see M1. So M1 represents the Apple chipset. So if it's an Intel, Intel would be available. So I'll download this one and then run it. So once you run this, don't change any default. Let the default settings be available. Don't change anything. Okay. So once it is available, as Altaf said, that's where the SDKs will be downloaded. So that's a little another process which I'll tell you, but you can also start to download it, I would say. Yeah. Okay. So yep. So maybe we can hold till here for today. So let's have some Q and A's. Like if there is something related to it, we can address it. And yesterday there was a question, we posted it. So let's quickly check it up. And that's right. Your web view can be available for both Android and iOS. So it can use it up. That's it. So if someone says like your web view is available only for your Android, that's not the case. Your web view can be available for both Android and iOS. Okay, so it doesn't have that discretionary. So the only thing is like say Android has a web view and iOS has something called it is developed on the WebKit. I forgot it actually. The name WK WebView. Yes. So for Android, we call it as Android WebView, and iOS we call it as a WK WebView. Okay, so that is how it will be available. But it's available in both platforms, and the majority of it will be in the Android. So Android is good with that. Yes. Okay. So any doubts, anything, we can discuss it. If no doubts are there, like we'll pause the session for today for now, and then we will resume it tomorrow. And with something like with the Java syllabus, we'll start it. Okay, there is a question. So after this course, will I be able to build frameworks to test local market? Yeah, definitely. Yes, 100%. I would tell yes. Definitely, you'll be able to do it. Yep. Okay, so any other questions? No problem. So if there is no questions, like thanks for attending the session for today. Like feel free to drop in your feedbacks, and if you want to do the payments and all those things, just get in touch with Mr. Kumar. So these are his numbers. Yeah, just for your FYI. Okay.
Do we have session tomorrow or it will be on Monday?
Tomorrow it's like tomorrow is a Saturday. Okay. Tomorrow no session. It will be on the Monday. So this is a weekday batch. Yes.
Okay.
We'll meet again on Monday. Yes, it's the same time. Yeah. Thanks for that. I totally forgot. Okay. Yep. Starting Monday, we'll start with the Java part and slowly we'll move ahead further and let's see. So how many of you over here knows Java already? Since it's from the beginners course, we added the Java. But if you already know it, so just it could be a little recap. So most probably like 5 sessions or 6 sessions would be Java. Yep. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Then it's good. Yeah. We'll have it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so if there is nothing, like, thanks for attending the session. Have a great rest of the day and have a good weekend. So let's meet again on Monday. Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
I have shared my GitHub account in the beginning. Could you please provide
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I'll provide it right now. Can you stay on the call for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
I'll just send in the invite really quick. Link. Yeah.
Also, I already have NVM and NPM installed that I
Oh,
shared
that's
the
great. Mhm.
screenshot. But Java is not installed, so I can do it.
Oh, yeah, you can do it. Yes. Please start doing it. Yes. Okay, so let me invite it. Shibin. Yes. Yep, I sent it. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.